I am.
Okay, we're starting. Alright guys, today we're going to learn about percents. Tell me what you know. Raise your hand and tell me what you know about percents. Where have you heard percents? What do you do with percents? Where have you heard about percents in your daily life? Cody?
Newspapers.
Newspapers. Where else?
Stores.
Stores.
Percent off on sales at
Percent off on sales. Exactly. That's what I think of a lot. I think of shopping when I hear percent off.
Magazines.
Magazines. What else? Sometimes I think when I think of percents, I think of when you go to a restaurant. How many of your parents leave your waitress a tip and they say that a 15% tip is a good tip? I think of when you get older in life, you're going to have your own bank accounts, and your bank accounts are going to have interest on them. How many of you heard your parents talk about interest? Right. Some of you, when you go to college, you might have to actually take out loans. Your loans are going to have interest on them too. Okay, so we actually use percents a lot in our daily life. Did you know the word percent actually means per cent? Okay, and also percent can mean per hundred. What coin do you think of when I say per hundred?
$100 bill.
You think of a $100 bill? Think of a coin though. What's a bill? I want a coin. Let's see. What is
$1. $1 coin.
a dollar coin? I think of something else though. What do you think of? I think of a penny. Why do I think of a penny?
Because 100 of them equals $1.
100 of them equals $1. Okay. So I think when I say per hundred, I think of a penny. Okay. So percent means per 100, and the most important thing when we're talking about percent today is that I want you to understand that we're going to be dealing with 100 a lot today. Okay? If I look over here, can you turn off the lights for me, Kendall? If I look over at my grids, you guys have seen these before, right? What kind of grids are they? 100 grid. Okay, so we're talking about 100's grid. So if I were to say 50%, 50% is like saying 50 out of 100.
So one
Okay?
half.
Or if I look up here at 25%, it's like saying 25 out of 100. So here we have 25% with a percent sign. Here we have 50% with a percent sign. But if I say out of, what's another way I could write that other than a percent sign? Yell it out. What do you think?
A fraction.
The fraction bar.
A fraction bar. Good. I could write 50 out of 100. And I heard somebody also say
One half.
1/2. Because what'd you do to it?
You
Reduced it.
Awesome. So we could say 50 out of a half or 50 out of 100. Okay. How else could I write this besides using a fraction bar?
Decimal.
Kendall D?
Decimal.
A decimal. Okay. Very good. I could write this as a decimal. How about I write it as a decimal? Yell it out.
0.50.
0.50. Okay. Or 0.50. So did you actually know that there's 3 ways that I can write a fraction? One of the ways is a fraction. The other way is as a decimal. And today you're going to learn the third way, which is as a percentage. So we've done this, and today we are going to focus on this. Now tell me, what do you know about a fraction and a decimal? What are they? What are they? What's their definition? Are they a whole thing, a little bitty thing?
Oh,
One?
parts of a whole.
They're parts of a whole. We know that a fraction's a part of a whole. We know that a decimal's a part of a whole. We know that these 2 things over here that we're looking at, do I have the whole thing shaded in? No, I only have a piece of a whole, a part of a whole. So raise your hand and tell me, what in your daily life do you use that's a part of a whole? A piece of a whole, or a part. Tori?
Pizza.
Pizza? Okay, when we take the pizza and we split it up, any kind of food that we share, okay, it's going to be a part of a whole. What else?
Pie.
A pie? What else?
A cake.
What do you do before you eat this cake?
Cut it in half.
Okay, before you cut it in half.
Equal parties.
When you're washing your hair at nighttime, use a part of the soap out of the whole thing.
Use a part of a whole. Good. Okay, that's good. That's a piece. Alright, and we also, when you're making that cake, what do we have to do with the
You
ingredients?
have to get the measuring cups.
You have to measure them. So our measuring cups and our measuring spoons are also parts of a whole. What about you guys? Do you guys use these?
Yes.
Yes.
Sometimes do you use these?
Yes.
Yes. What does this say right here, Kendall? 3 fraction bar 13. So 3 over 13. So there's a lot of stuff that we use that's going to be a piece of a whole. Okay? What about here in school? grades, the assignments. Let's say that Ivan takes a test. Okay? Ivan's test is 20 questions.
That's me.
Out of those 20 questions, Ivan gets 19 correct.
Ooh.
Okay? So if I would write this as a fraction, I would write it as
1920.
19/20. He gets 19 out of 20.
Each
Now, so does that
question
mean?
counts as 5.
Does that mean? Oh, good. Does that mean that I'm going to give Ivan a score of a 19 on this paper?
No.
I think if I'm going to make him a paper, he's going to be mad.
95.
Okay? He's going to be very mad if I give him a score of a 19. So instead, we have to say, well, what is the ultimate grade that all of us want? 100. Okay?
100.
That's the ultimate grade that all of us want. So if I want to write this as a fraction, where is my 100 going to go?
At the bottom.
At the bottom. It's my total.
And we have 20
So now, what am I doing? How can I figure out what I want to do to take this 19 out of 20 to get over here to my hundreds? Ivan?
I would do like, easier way is like, I would do like, how many times 20 would go in 100, and that's how many times you would subtract each answer.
That's very good. That's just another way of approaching it. That's perfect. Okay? Well, what can I do here? What am I doing with these two fractions? I know that he got 19 out of 20, but I don't want to just figure it out of 20. I want to figure it out of 100 total pieces. Kindle-D?
You're going to have to do the button method?
I'm going to have to do the button method. I'm going to have to go across. So tell me more, Kindle. What do I do?
How do you get from 20 to 100?
Okay, and how do I get from 20 to 100?
5
Times
times
5. Excellent. What do I do on the bottom? Golden rule. I must do on the top. All right, so we're going to have to multiply 19 times 5. Help me out. 9 times 5?
45.
5 times 1?
5.
Plus 4 more.
9.
So Ivan gets a score of 95 out of 100. Now go back to what I said at the very beginning. When we talk about percents, we talk about per 100. Okay, percents always deal with 100. Do I have 100 here?
Yes.
Yes. So actually what he has is he's got a score of a 95%. That's a pretty awesome score, right? So this is what we're going to be working on today. Okay, except we are going to take decimals and turn our decimals into percents. But you know that a decimal can go into a fraction, and from a fraction we can go into a percent. Okay, that's what we're going to do today. All right, so I want you to watch
And learn.
the first example, and then you'll jump in on the other one. Okay? If I give you a number like 0.85, how do I read that number?
8,500.
8,500. Okay, so what we want to do is I'm going to give you a decimal today. We're going to take this decimal and we're going to turn it into a fraction. So if I want to take this and turn it into a fraction, you told me that we can read this as 8,500. So let's step back and review because a couple of you didn't say what it was out loud. So let's review our place value real quick. We draw our blanks. What blank is this?
Tens.
And this?
Hundreds.
And this?
Thousands.
Now today we said we're just working with hundreds, so are we going to need the thousands? What do you
No.
think?
No.
We're not.
We're
All we
gonna
need
need
is
a 10
TH,
because-
okay? Good, so we're going to need the TH. We're going to go out to the hundreds today. We're also going to be dealing with the tenths today. So you said this was 8,500. Kayla, how do I write 8,500 as a fraction? Awesome. Okay, so we've got step 1, it's a decimal. Step 2, it's a fraction. Step 3, here's the most important thing that you need to make sure that you always ask yourself, even once you get in the hang of this. Ask yourself, is my denominator 100? Is my denominator 100?
Yes.
Ask yourself again, is my denominator 100?
Yes.
Good, repeat after me, is my denominator 100?
Yes.
Is my denominator 100?
Say it again.
Is my denominator 100?
Say it again.
Is my denominator 100?
Good, awesome, and it is. So if it is, you're pretty much done. All you need to do is take this numerator and write it as a percent. Ta-da, and you're done.
Easy.
Easy, right?
Yeah.
No problem. That's the first step of percents today. Now, what if my denominator is not 100? Any predictions? I like that you raised your hands. Cody? Okay, so we're going to do tenths. All right, let's see. What if we change this to 0.8?
8 tenths.
Miranda, how would I read that? I read it as 8 tenths. Good. How do I write that as a fraction? Kendall, why?
You put the 1 on the 10.
I put the whatever that's in.
The 1, then the first one on the 10.
Do I have a 1? What do I have?
Oh, it's 8.
Yeah. 8 tenths. Okay, so I'm going to put 8 tenths. Okay?
Each answer.
Now, back to our question. I asked my